You're welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make a perfect collar with a collar stand. But before we get right into it, subscribe to my channel for more sewing tips. Do not forget to like this video and comment, and of course your notification bell. So let's get right into it. You'll be making use of your art steel to cut your collar stand. First, you make the width of your collar steel to be 1.5 inches and cut out. After cutting it out, you are going to fold it into two and mark your neck measurement. My round neck measurement is 17 inches divided by 2, that is 8.5. Cut it out. After cutting it out, the next thing is to shape your collar stand. Exactly at the edge of the art steel, you are going to shape it like I'm doing in this video. You will see the final result once I am done. So you are going to shape your collar stand exactly the way this shape is. So this is it. This is the final result after shaping it out. Then you place it. You put it down. So right now it is time to work on your collar. The width of your collar is going to be 2.5 inches. Make sure it is long because you are going to fold it and then you cut it out. Now that you are done cutting it out, you are going to fold it into two like you did on your collar stand. After folding it into two, you take your collar stand, you place it at the same place, and then you determine the length of the collar stand and make sure the length of the collar stand and the length of the collar is the same. Then you cut it out. So now the next thing is to measure 1.25 inch on your collar to shape it. You can decide to leave it straight, you can decide to make it slant. It depends on whatever shape you want your collar to give you. So I'll be deducting 1/4 and then I'm going to slant it. I'm going to give it a slant. So I'm done slanting it. The next thing I'm going to do is to place it, and you see exactly this is how it is going to be. So you are going to pick your scissors and then you shape your collar. You can shape it anyhow, just make sure it's making sense. Mine, I want my collar at the center, I want it to be 2 inches, so I'm going to shape it in such a way that the center will give me 2 inches. So this is it. So right now it's time to cut our fabric. Make sure your fabric is on fold. Make sure it is on fold, and you must put enough allowance at the sides. You can see how I place. You are going to place your collar on it and then you are going to cut it out. After cutting, you go to your ironing table and make sure you attach the art steel to it. You are going to gum it like this, exactly the way it is like this. You gum it. You cut the fabric for the collar stand as well. You are going to fold the fabric into two like you did for your collar as well. Add enough allowance at the sides of it, and then you are going to go to your pressing iron and press it as well. I'm done attaching the art steel to the fabric. So now you are going to sew on your collar like this, just the upper part, not the bottom, the upper part. This is me indicating it just from the side to the up and then to the other side. This is the result after sewing. So now the next thing is to trim off the excess at the sides and everywhere. You're going to trim it off like I'm doing right now. After trimming, you are going to turn over to the right side. You turn it and give it a good press. So now for the collar stand, this is the collar stand and this is the facing. So what I did here is that I attached the art steel on the collar stand. Like I said, you are going to attach it on it, and I said you must leave excess allowance. So the allowance, are going to fold it and then you are going to press it with iron, which I already did. So after pressing it with iron, you are going to go to your sewing machine and sew like I'm indicating in this video. Make sure you sew just to hold the fabric that you press, just to hold it down. So you are going to sew it like this. This is the outcome after stitching it. So the next thing is to trim off the excess allowances after you are done stitching. So you are going to trim it off. Now back to our collar. This is what you are going to do. After I'm done pressing, I top stitch the upper part. So the next thing you are going to do now is that you are going to make sure your collar stay is your determinant, like it is your width. So you are going to trim off the excess and make it exactly the same size as your steel. This is me trimming it so that I will have the same length as the art steel. So this is what we have after trimming it. We are almost done. So the next thing is to attach your collar to your collar stand. And how are we going to do that? You pick up your collar stand and trim off the excess and make sure you add like a 1/4 of an inch allowance like I am doing in this video. So this is what you have after adding the 1/4 of an inch. So now you determine the center and notch it, and then you place it down, and then you pick up your collar, and then you notch the center of your collar as well. Make sure you notch it, and then you place the center on the center, like we want to turn it. After placing the collar, you pick up your facing, which is the collar stand facing, to turn it over. So you put it on it like I'm doing exactly in this video. You can either use a pin to hold it down if you have issue with it. So just hold it down with your pin. You can see I'm also holding it with a pin in this video. So you flip to the other side so that you will know what you are doing. You know how you are going to sew. So you are going to sew like this. You can see where my hand is. You are going to start from that point exactly on that allowance. You're not going to sew on the art steel. You're going to sew right after the art steel like this. So that's what you are going to do. So now I'm done sewing. I'm done joining together. You can see how I did it. So you're going to trim off the excess. If we have excess, just make sure you trim it off, and then you turn over to the right side. So after turning it, you make sure you give it a very good press. Just give it a very good press with your pressing iron. So after pressing, you are going to trim excess out by adding at least a 1/4 of an inch. So now this is what we have. So this is the 1/4 of an inch. So the next thing is to pick up your fabric and measure the round neck. We already measured it before cutting the collar stand, which I said it's 17 inches. So you are going to confirm it again. So you measure it, and all I have here is exactly 17 inches. So you do the same for your collar stand as well. You confirm the measurements, make sure it is the same thing. So it is also 17 inches. So the next thing is to attach the collar to our fabric. So you are going to place it right from the front like I'm doing in this video. You place it all round. You can secure with a pin. You hold it with a pin to have a perfect sewing. So this is the result after attaching it to the fabric. This is the result. You can see that it is looking very neat and very, very perfect. So the next thing is to top stitch on this. You can see the way I am doing it. You are going to make sure the sewing allowance is inside, then you place this on it, and then you are going to sew at that tip, the tip of the facing. You are going to sew on it. Make sure it is very neat and make sure it is staying very perfect. You are also going to top stitch like I'm indicating in this video. You top stitch like this to the other side. So this is the final outcome after top stitching this side. So I actually forgot to top stitch the upper part, which I'm going to go back, and you can see the outer part. You can see how neat and how straight and perfect it is. So I'll go back to my sewing machine and top stitch this side that I said I forgot. I'll top stitch it as well. So this is the final outcome of our collar. You can see how beautiful and how neat this is. So you attach your button and then it is all done. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel for more amazing sewing tips and more great videos. See you next time. I love you. Bye bye.